DTB said that duffel bag under your arm. I lost it.
And then Akbar says something like, "Oh,
your ass don't even jiggle."
Yeah, and then that's
when DTB started clapping them cheeks.
Bro, that shit was loud.
It was.
I was like, okay, she proved the point. That shit not hard. That shit jiggle.
That shit was loud, yo.
Bro.
It really said a loud audience ass clap. It said,
yeah.
This the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, rock, top, top.
Blah, blah, blah. Welcome back to another episode of the Petty Headquarters. I'm your host, Tiana Locke, and this is
Jesse Strange.
And we are back with another motherfucking Baddies recap.
You ready?
Okay. So, yes, we are here to bring you your 2 episodes in one, episode 7 and 8. 8 just dropped. We just finished watching it, so we're going to recap about all of this.
Yes.
If you guys are new here, tune in, stay tuned. Okay, we are a pop culture podcast, Baddies, Zeus Network, celebrity drama, all of that jazz. So saddle up, buckle up, and get ready for your weekly dose of mess. All right, so let's just get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's pick up back from Baddies Midwest, episode 7. So where we picked up at, Bad Dolly and Pretty P fight.
Mm-hmm.
They fight, and apparently Bad Dolly hits her the wrong way, and her hand severely just gets injured. She's crying. She's like, I hit that bit the wrong way. She's crying. And then she needs a medic. The medic comes. The medic is like helping her, and it was just drama. Pretty P thought she ate just because Bad Dolly hit her the wrong way, which... in fact, I don't think she did. I think Bad Dolly was beating your ass up. But it is what it is. When you hit wrong, that's just what's going to happen. You're going to sprain your fucking wrist.
Yeah. It's called a boxer's fracture.
No, for real.
Yeah, I've had plenty of those.
Oh, what you was doing when you had those?
Yo, you always want... No, stop the shit. Always putting my business out there like that.
What
Talk
you
about...
was doing when you had that?
Yo, you stupid.
Oh, dear. So obviously after that, the girls get back to the house. If you guys watched the last episode, you know what happened. You know what we talked about. If you're up to date on Baddies, you know what's what. This is why you're here. You're here for the tea. You're here for the recap.
Mm-hmm.
So Summer is going a bunch of rounds. First of all, this was Summer's episode. Let's just start there.
Yeah.
This was Summer's episode. Summer was just having mad rounds with Pretty P at this point, and it was just crazy. Like, they just kept going back and forth. And Summer just popping her shit. She don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But then she decides to call out Jazz. And
oh my.
Oh God, what are your thoughts on that?
Yo, she picking on this girl. It's so funny.
Yo, it's so funny. It's actually
really
funny.
is.
You could tell towards the end that she just be trolling the shit out of Jazz.
Yeah.
Just to troll her.
For sure.
Right. So she starts to call out Jazz, and Jazz is like, well, you already apologized to me, so I'm confused. Like, what are we calling out? What are we fighting about? Like, what is going on? And they fight, and fucking Summer flips Jazz.
Yeah, for real.
That shocked me. Did that not shock you?
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot. I was hoping you were gonna ask me about that.
You don't remember?
I'm trying to remember episode 7 right now.
You even saw the recap when she flipped her?
Yeah, I really don't remember. That's crazy.
Okay, that's pretty wild.
Shout out to you for holding
Shout
it
out
down.
to me.
You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at my notes like, what the fuck? I don't remember. Oh, okay. I see it in all caps. She gets dragged on the floor. Heard. Still don't remember, but yeah, apparently that happened.
Yeah, no, but it was also in the recap, girl, for tonight's episode.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Whatever. Not Summer beating up Jazz, which is like so random. Jazz really
Which is crazy though, because Summer be losing at every fight.
I know.
Yeah. Which says that literally Jazz can't fight.
Right. And it's like, Jazz, you're so much bigger than her. But this is why they say size doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. So, Pretty P was actually really upset at this point because she saw that, after Summer had her little fight with fucking Jazz, Summer was talking too much. She was popping her shit.
And she went at her again.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. It's coming back.
It's coming back.
Yeah,
little by little. So then, of course, Pretty P obviously beats on Summer. Like, Pretty P could fight. And then I guess Natalie actually decides, no more fighting. We have to go. Which is usually what she does. So the girls go to the skating rink after that.
Oh, that really? Okay. Because
unless I'm missing something.
Well, because I know at some point Rolly had actually, which I thought was interesting, Rolly had volunteered to stay in the house. You see, I'm remembering.
This is why you're here.
The balance.
Yes. We balance each other out.
For sure. Which I thought was interesting that Rolly volunteered, because you have someone like Rolly who's been in the longest, as long as I can remember, in the Baddies.
Right.
And she had no problem saying, I volunteered because I want to see what these girls are about, when you have someone like Biggie coming in and thinking that, oh, why am I staying in the house? Or why don't I don't need to be fighting and shit like that. That entitled energy. So I thought that was interesting, and I'm not gonna lie. I don't usually like what Rolly does, but I actually appreciated that.
No, because first of all, in the beginning when Natalie said someone's gonna be staying with the girls, Rolly was the first one to be like, it better not be me, bitch. It better not be me. So I don't know where this newfound energy from you is coming from, because Rolly did not volunteer. She only now volunteered because she actually liked some of the newbies. That's the difference.
Oh, you think that's why?
Yeah, I think because she seen what they was working with, she liked some of them, and she was like, you know what? Let me be a mama bear. Let me be a mama bear baddies. Like, but in the beginning, she wasn't on that.
Yeah,
she was so quick to be like, better not be me, bitch. Kicked her feet up and everything, bitch. Kicked her ugly ass feet up, talking about better not be me. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Bet. You got it. You got it. Oh, I also want to address that everybody was coming at us for last time with Scotty. I do want to say some of y'all got it, okay? Heard y'all. I said something like, oh, I feel like Scotty's doing the most trying to prove herself, and that she's like, giving too much attention to Emma. I take it back. You guys are right. You're saying that you guys said that Scotty basically is just clocking it the same way any other girl would, because Emma started with her. So y'all got it on that.
Y'all definitely have it on that part. On that part, y'all got it. But on the other part where I said I feel like Scotty is insecure and she feels like she needs to always be validated, or she needs to overcompensate to prove herself, y'all don't got it on that part. I'm sorry. I'm still standing on what I said about that, because even though Scotty clocked something, both can be true. You could clock it, but still deep down know that you feel a little insecure about your position, especially with the way Natalie be treating you, and with the way your personality is set up. It's not far-fetched to see that, even if you're not showing it, maybe deep down, sometimes you just want to be validated. You want reassurance that you're good enough. And I feel like Scotty is screaming that. Okay? And that's not to take away from who she is. She's cool. She's dope.
I feel like, yes, but throughout the seasons, you've seen it develop. And I think she's a lot of the character development in her. I see a lot of character development, and I don't see that as much, especially this season. You know what I mean? Like, I understand all the other seasons, especially when Natalie throws her around like a rag doll. But I don't know. Maybe it's different now because she's really officially with Lemmy, and you see it in this season.
You think she's officially with Lemmy now? You think they made it official?
I mean, they were always open about it. They're very open, and he definitely called it off with Janisha. You know what I mean? What?
I didn't know he called it off with Janisha.
Yeah.
I thought Janisha called it off with him.
Okay, same shit, right? Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, okay. Yeah, but still, they're not a thing no more. So what I'm saying is, I don't know. I feel like Scotty is just not who she was a couple seasons ago. You know what I mean?
So you think Scotty has grown?
For sure.
And she's more mature now, and she just wishes Natalie the best, and she's no longer seeking that validation from her anymore.
I don't know about if she's seeking validation from her.
If she's no longer seeking that validation from
I think
her.
that she seeks validation, but it just shows up in different persons now, right? So now before it was Natalie, now it's maybe Lemmy, and he's giving that to her, so she don't really got to do the most no more. You know what I'm saying?
I see. Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. I feel like you're the only one that could clock me on certain things. Because not everybody else can be clocking me like that. For real. This is why you're here.
That's what I'm here,
This is
baby.
why you're here. The balance.
So yeah, they go to the skating rink. Now they're on their way to the skating rink.
Now they are on their way to the skating rink. And the girls are on the bus, and Rolly's talking about how she don't want to skate. Her fat ass don't want to skate. She don't know how to skate. She don't want to fall on her ass. All right. Pretty P says that she skates. And so they were having a conversation about that. And then out of nowhere,
fucking Summer, bro.
Yo, Summer was talking shit.
Talking mad shit.
But before Summer was talking shit, Jazz presses Summer because Summer had apologized. So that's what she said. She basically said on the bus, like, you apologized to me and then started beef. Why? Like, why did we just have that fight after you already apologized? And after that, they're just going back and forth on that. And Jazz even asked Ivory, didn't Summer apologize? Ivory was bad quiet for dumb long. And then she was like, yeah, you did say that, though. Like, you really did, though, girl. Like, and then that's what Summer was talking about. I'm a real ass bitch. Da-da-da-da-da. She didn't really answer it. She didn't really, what's the word? She didn't really confront the situation. She didn't really say anything about it. She was just talking about how she's a real ass bitch, all that stuff. And Ivory and Emma actually said, yeah, you did apologize, and then start all this shit. So there's a little bit of, back and forth on the bus, but it doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah. You also forgot when Pretty P and Summer were going back and
Oh
forth.
my God, they were. That's how you know this episode was so funny.
And Pretty P was like calling fucking Summer ugly as fuck. I feel like she says that to everybody.
Yo, Pretty P seemed drunk in that clip when they were arguing on the bus. I'm not gonna lie. That
so
shit
funny.
was crazy.
And then Summer was like, Maddie, shot o'clock. Oh, yeah, you forgot that whole
that shit, yeah. The episode was so entertaining though that I could barely take notes.
You love Summer. I love Summer.
I love Summer. Because you know what? It's refreshing.
Yeah.
She's real. She don't give a fuck.
She don't care.
She don't care.
Who is in front of her.
And she not trying to impress nobody.
That's the part.
That's the part.
Yeah.
That's the biggest part. Because I feel like these bitches always want to show and they want to lap dog it up so quick.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
impress, to come back. And then in the end, it makes them look stupid. Like, you do realize that you don't have to be a lap dog to come back. You can be yourself. And if you're liked and if the girls like you, you're coming back.
Or if you're funny.
That too. Like, and then you're coming back.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. So I just think it's very interesting that a lot of these girls, they decide, oh, I want to impress Natalie. And then they just...
It's so interesting because when you look at how each and every girl got there, I think a lot of them, it's very different, right? And the ones that end up becoming the lap dogs, they end up being the clowns at the end, the laughing stock.
Always.
And the people who, like, for example, I thought DTB was going to be one that was, like, going to be the laughing stock. But turns out being a troll and sneaking people, but being real at the same time, that, just admitting that you're being a troll and that you're actually cool in real life and you're just doing this for entertainment.
Right.
Still gets you, and that's what? Being yourself.
Right.
Being honest.
Right. Exactly.
So I think it's interesting when you pay attention to how the girls end up becoming, I guess, a baddie.
Yeah, agreed. And like that same thing applies to DTB, right? I mean, her clout chasing ways and even her owning it and admitting that, yeah, like I am a clout chaser and I am doing this shit for entertainment because it is TV. You got respect from that because at least you can admit that that's what you're doing. You're an actress, baby girl. You're an actress. So the girls are at the skating rink and they're having fun. And I'm not gonna lie, it looked mad lit.
Yeah, it looked good. Like a good time.
It looked like a good time. Like it looked like a vibe. Jayla falls and busts her ass.
That was funny.
That was funny. A lot of the girls were trying to skate. They were trying to dance and skate. Natalie was just staying over there with the fans taking pictures. That bitch was not trying to skate.
Nah, DTB taking off her fucking wig and just like being a goof is
She just don't care.
She's funny, bro.
Yeah, like she really just don't be caring. Like it's kind of funny.
She's funny, but it is cool to see the girls doing things, you know, different activities. First she had the cider mill, now it's the skating rink. It's cool to see these girls do something because I know that was always our thing. Like you're just in the house, we don't see nothing new,
right.
And you know, nothing really happened at the skating rink.
No,
which is fine.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't mad at it. I thought it was cool that they just skated and had fun. Like that was cute. It was cute. And I mean, did anything else happen after that? Nothing much, right?
No, that was it. And then the next day, we go in and it's Jaden's birthday.
Yeah, Natalie tells the girls that, you know, they're going to Cleveland and that she announces that someone's going to be going home. Mm-hmm. So this news sends everyone into like, you know, a little halt, like, whoa, who's going home? Jayla talking about, it's not going to be me. I just want to know who it is. And it's crazy because before we even found out who was going home, we were even discussing it needs to be Yoshi.
Yeah.
It needs to be Yoshi.
Even in the last episode, we're like, who the fuck is Yoshi?
Who's Yoshi? Like, and I've been saying this, like, even with her, like, I was just like, Yoshi, like, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking go. And honestly, it ended up being her, which we'll get to. I mean, but we're here, so it ended up being her. And I'm fucking glad. Bitch, you needed to go. You wasn't doing shit. And Natalie was like, yeah, I could tell, like, you know, it was hard on her. It was too much on her. She wasn't really doing anything. So, yeah, you got to go. You're boring.
Yeah, now that we're talking about Yoshi, definitely. First of all, why does she look like that when fucking Natalie was like, you got to go home? She's like, yeah. Like, she looked mad scared, yo. Like, she was
said,
like, right.
She really did, yeah.
Like, what is going on with that poor girl? She was, like, ready. Like, you know when them dogs and, like, scaredy dogs are looking at their owner, like... She was like, yeah. It was so weird. I don't know how she got chosen. I don't know where she came from.
You know what it was? She knew. She knew it was going to be her.
Yeah.
She knew.
I think everybody knew.
Like, everybody knew. Like, girl, you're just there. Like, after that little fight with Summer, she didn't want no more problems.
Yeah, she was like... You know, like, and then fucking she was shook.
Like, I'm really a small girl, so it's like, we're not doing that this year, bro. The like, whole small excuse, we're not doing it this year.
I'll be back. You hear good. I wish you the best, Yoshi, but get the fuck out of here because you was not. It's crazy how some girls actually get like their name and their picture on the intro and shit like that when they end up not being on the show for the majority of the time.
Right. So, you know, whatever. The girls finally get back to the house. And this is where we kind of find out that Yoshi is the one getting sent home. But before all of that, you know, Natalie comes out. And one thing I do want to mention, Natalie is not staying in the house with the girls this season. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
We don't need you in the house with them. We really don't. Like, if you're executive producer and if you're on Boss Vibes, stay the fuck out. What happens in the house has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, no,
at all.
I like it. I ain't mad at it. We've been asking for this for quite some time. So
we really have. So I'm really glad that this season it's finally happening. I wonder why though. Like, why this is happening. Like, what do you think?
Well, we saw it. We saw what happened with E.T. We saw what happened, you know, even like after E.T., I feel like the only reason why Natalie was in the house in Caribbean was because they were out of the country, right? Like, and maybe it was just easier to keep all the girls here. But I just feel like every season she looked more tired and tired and tired. And I would be too. That bitch is like 40 something. Imagine.
Well, she's like 38, 37. Like, she's close to 40. I don't think she's 40
I don't know how these girls be almost 40 fighting. No, for real. Like, okay, cool. Like, you about that life. That's great. But why do you have to prove it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I'd be tired, bitch. I'm 30 and tired. Like, so yeah, I mean, that's probably why. Yeah. And, you know, the whole shit that's been building up from her, people saying that she's not a real executive producer.
All right.
And, you know, all the criticism, I'm sure it's gotten to her. And now finally she's made an agreement with Lemmy and it's gotten to that point.
Well, I'm glad. You don't need to be in the house with the girls. Show us the boss that you keep saying you are.
Well, that's what Baddies Gone Wild is about. She literally posted about it, I think today or something like that. Like, I'm so thankful that I can finally sit back behind the scenes and be an executive producer. Thank you, Lemmy. You know, it's nice learning from you. She literally just posted about it.
Oh, so she's gonna sit back on this one.
Yeah, she's not involved. Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe she is, but she'll be like, show up. Like what she did in Bad Boys, like showed up and then left.
Right. Right.
But yeah, so.
Okay. Well, so then she meets the girls at the house, and then she says that we're going to be going to the next city. Is there anything anyone wants to get off their chest? Typical Natalie line. So Akbar and Biggie, they just start going back and forth because Biggie's like, I feel like you coming for me for no reason. Akbar says, I feel like you should just stand up for yourself and you're not standing on business. And the argument just gets out of control to the point where Biggie throws her purse at Akbar. Akbar doesn't really do anything about it.
I feel like she backed away.
She did. She backed away. She did her little square up stance. But, she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Biggie didn't do anything. And we were all just like, okay, Biggie threw the purse but didn't hit. But then also you can argue that Akbar also got hit.
And didn't defend herself.
She
didn't.
But
she wants to talk about Biggie defending herself.
Right. But then she also said, on this recent episode that came out, I could see the fear in her eyes that she didn't want to. Yeah, man, I'm over Akbar. I'm not going to lie. I feel like in that moment, Biggie should have followed up with a punch, bro.
Biggie don't fight, clearly.
You can't be throwing a fucking purse and not following up with a fucking punch, bitch. Like, I'm so sorry. That should have been your moment. Because you could tell Biggie was so fed up with her. She was fed up with her to the point where she threw the purse. Take this bitch out. I don't care what you got to do.
It takes mad long for Biggie to actually stand up to the people that are bothering her. Because how long did it take? It took a whole season for fucking Biggie to stand up to Rolly.
A whole season passed.
Yeah.
And she came back the next season and did it.
Yeah, exactly. It took mad long. But you know what I found interesting was that she didn't attack Akbar, but then Jaden confronts her and was saying her opinion. And then Jaden throws the flowers at her, and then Biggie fucking attacks her. So I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is the energy with Akbar? I don't get it. So was there fear?
Maybe.
Because maybe she felt like, why weren't you afraid of going for Jaden? She likes to say, well, Jaden threw the flowers at her, right? But it's like, okay, but you threw the purse, and I guess it's different because you weren't getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different because Akbar should have attacked you, you know what I'm saying, to defend herself.
Yeah, I guess she was ready for it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not ready for nothing. If I'm hitting you first, or if I'm throwing something first, I'm going to make sure you're not getting up. I'm going to make sure you're not even going to hit me back. Like, that's crazy. Like, because I don't like to do that. Like, for me, violence is really like last resort if I'm like really fucking fed up. So if I'm doing that first, I'm going to follow through, bro. Right. So I don't know why the fuck she didn't follow through. And also, Jaden even saying that to Biggie was so random because it's like, Jaden, Biggie didn't even say anything about you. She didn't have a problem with you. Why are you saying this? Because it's your birthday. And Biggie was right. Bitch, you didn't even look like it was your birthday. You really did it.
Yo.
You really did it.
That shit cracked me up. When Biggie said that, I was like, yo, if she's right though.
She was. I was like, damn, Biggie, you're right. She's like, you don't even look like it's your birthday. I was like, yo, for real. You don't. You in this baby fat fucking sweatpants, bitch. You do not look like it's your birthday. Like, you in this fucking Y2K early 2000s baby fat sweatsuit.
Real.
You don't look like it's your B-Day.
I feel like Jaden is so funny because she really doesn't care about looking a certain, like, she'll wear her sweatsuit and it'll look cute. But, like, she's not trying to be this, like, what you would normally think a baddie would look like. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nothing crazy. Not no extra wigs. Not no, extra clothes. Not no high heels. She really just be chilling.
Yeah.
She a whole mom. You know what? I actually recently heard an interview with her and Adam 22. And all I get, I'm like, yo, she really a mom, like, at heart.
Yeah, she is.
And then shout out to her.
She seems really cool. Like, she really seems like a chill, cool, down-to-earth person. I know when we did an episode about the interview that her and Blueface did with Jason Lee, we had commented on her as well. So, I mean, we overall fuck with Jaden. We think she's really dope. But one thing that I wanted to point out was that in the midst of the argument after Biggie had thrown the purse at Akbar, Akbar is going back and forth with Biggie. And one of the things that she says is, you're a kid. What do I look like, you know, hitting or, you know, going after a kid? And I'm like, okay, but you're arguing with a fucking kid. You're an old bitch arguing with a kid. So why can't you see the correlation in your statement right there? You came for Biggie first because she... And that's the thing, bro. That's the thing with these old bitches I can't stand that want a little kid and little sister bitch. You literally came for Biggie because you saw her as a kid to begin with. But now your reasoning for not running up or, you know, retaliating is you're a kid. It makes no fucking sense. If you just see that, just shut the fuck up. If you see that I'm a kid, then shut the fuck up.
Akbar is annoying, okay? Like, for real, for real. She's just annoying. That's all I gotta say about that, because I don't fucking know. She's just annoying. She really is. Like,
moral of the story.
Yeah,
that's it.
like, I don't...
End of discussion. Like,
there's nothing to say because
nothing.
It makes no sense. It just makes no sense. It just, all that does is really demonstrate how she thinks she's above these girls.
Exactly. And that's why DTB don't fuck with her.
Which we'll get into. But before we move to that, I want to say that when it was after Biggie threw the purse, Biggie also took off her jacket. And Anna, in the background, ran up to pick up her jacket for her, which is the same thing that Anna has a problem with, right? Like, Anna will be there for you even when you're fighting. You see that action right there is what Anna's talking about. You don't have to fight for me, but if I'm throwing my jacket, I'm going to pick that shit up for you because you're my sister, and I'm going to have your back. And I feel like that's the same thing that she's trying to tell Biggie. Like, you know, you don't got to fight for me. You don't got to be a fighting girl. But damn, like, you know, stand up for me, say something. And I feel like you don't even got to say nothing.
Like, it's the little things.
Anna didn't have to say nothing, but the fact that she picked up immediately Biggie's jacket, that's her standing up for her sister, having her back. And I think that's what Anna's trying to tell Biggie. And that's what I understand from it, too. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what a real sister does. You don't got to fight for me.
Okay, I guess I can see it like that. I see what you're saying, because it's the little things. It doesn't always have to mean physically fight for me,
right?
But you could antagonize verbally, or you can, you know, have my back, give me a shirt, fix my hair,
put a hat on.
Yeah, give me a hat or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. You don't even got to speak. It's those little actions.
But Biggie had her back when she fought Mariah.
But she's talking about this season. Biggie wasn't, I guess, grieving, if you want to believe, like, you know, that's the source, right? She wasn't grieving last season.
So you don't believe that she's grieving?
No, I do. I'm just saying, people are saying that's not enough to not stand up for your sister and stuff like that. So,
yeah. So after that whole debauchery, Summer decides to run up on Jazz because she felt like they was taking too long. The whole situation with Biggie, Jaden, Biggie, Akbar was taking too long. So
she's right.
Fucking, yo, for real. I cracked the fuck up when she said, y'all take it too fucking long. So she decides to fucking run up on Jazz. And it's like a whole thing with her and Jazz. And Jazz just keeps saying, like, you know, what's the issue? Like, this is really stupid. So they go 2 rounds, actually. Mm-hmm. No, they go this round, but this was again after the first one that we had talked about. And of course, they break that up out of nowhere.
Natalie interrupts and was like, and starts yelling at Biggie that if you don't fight and defend yourself, you're gonna go home. Which is the same thing that she did with Smiley.
Yep.
And she likes to, she thinks that she swears that she can do that to everybody. And it's so funny because Biggie, which I'm not gonna lie, one thing about Biggie is that she's true to herself too. She's saying no, she's not gonna fucking fight. She said, send me home.
Yeah.
Send me home.
Yo, when Natalie said that, I was like, bitch, you know you're not sending Biggie home.
Right.
Be fucking for real. Like, she's a fan fave. She's funny. She's entertaining. And you know you're just saying that to, like, rile her up.
Yeah.
But you know damn well, deep in your core, bitch, you're not gonna send Biggie home. So when she said that, I just started cracking the fuck up. I was like, bitch, who you sending home? Because it's not Biggie. Mm-hmm. It's not Biggie.
Oh, I also noticed that Biggie was smoking a cigarette at some point in here. Yeah, she was holding a cigarette. It looked white. So either it was a joint or a cigarette, But if it was a cigarette, like, damn, sis is stressed, okay? Because you smoking a cigarette.
I never seen her smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, it was in that scene. She had a white short little thing. It looked like a cigarette. So it could have been a perfectly rolled joint, but it looked like a cigarette to me.
Wow. Okay. I mean, it had the circular shape at the end. Like, you know, with the cigarettes do. Because the joint, it'd be twisted at the end. But
yeah, no, I didn't have that. It had a flat.
Circular,
it looked perfect.
Flat.
Yeah. I was like,
did you see the orange part?
I was looking, but hello, her hands are like this. You know what I'm saying? She was holding it. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But yes, go ahead.
So then after that, Natalie mentions that someone's going to be getting a baddies chain. And we're all like, what the fuck? So I thought it was going to be Summer. You know, because it's like she had the most fades like so far. And I feel like she's always popping her shit. But she said it was Ivory, which I also wasn't surprised that it was Ivory because even though they're not showing this on camera, a lot of behind the scenes like footage or like, you know, scenes of them turning up, Ivory was always with Natalie, always on her story, always turning up with her. So honestly, I wasn't surprised because, you know, Ivory's doing her big one, kissing ass. And I don't even know if I would call it kissing ass. I think she's just a cool person. And it seems like
you like Ivory?
I think she's a cool person. I'm not mad at her. I don't have anything against her. I think she knows what she's doing. She knows how to get important people to like her, and I feel like she knows what she's doing. Like, obviously she's kissing ass with Natalie, but I feel like she's also doing it in a way where she comes off cool, not desperate.
Really? Interesting.
I have no idea because we haven't seen it on screen, but I've seen little bits of it, obviously not in the show, like on social media. Obviously Natalie knows, like, you know, at the end of the day, these bitches always want something from her, so she knows what it is.
I feel like I totally get the opposite vibes from Ivory. I really don't know if I'm really, she just honestly on some real shit. I feel like every time Ivory comes around, internally I'm rolling my eyes. Because I feel like here we go. Here comes the bully. Who's she gonna pick on? Who's she gonna stir up the pot this time? She just gives such bully vibes.
I mean, she is a bully.
Yeah, and I really don't, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of like, I'm on my, you know? Here comes Ivory again.
She seems like she could be cool if she just stopped being a fucking bully. So I feel that energy from her. Like, you could be a cool ass bitch. Like, you seem really cool, but you just be bugging the fuck out.
That's funny. I don't know what you see when you say cool, but okay, I guess. Everything she says is annoying. Like, I really don't see. You're like, yeah, she cool. Where? I think some are cool.
I just think you know, I think Summer's cool too, but I feel like Ivory, something about her, like, she's funny. I think
she is?
She's a little funny.
Oh, wow. I mean, I don't really know. I don't think she's funny.
Okay, so yeah, we can agree to disagree.
But yeah, she gets the baddie chain, which to me was a surprise. I was like, really?
To everyone, it was a surprise, but I wasn't surprised because seeing like the social media footage of her and Natalie always hanging out, obviously Natalie's gonna give it to who's more loyal to her and who's up her ass, and Ivory was definitely doing that. We just didn't see it in the show, but the social media posts and, you know, off the show and behind the scenes shit, you know, when she was on PJ with Natalie, we were seeing it.
Right.
So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's funny because DTV was like, oh, hell no. I waited a whole season. These girls ain't do shit.
A whole season. And the season just started and you're already giving her a baddie chain. It's like episode 3. You're already giving her a fucking baddie chain.
Mm-hmm. But it was, she did mention that it's her first time having diamonds around her neck. So shout out to Ivory for getting some diamonds around your neck.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, after Diamond goes off about that whole thing, this is when Natalie decides that one person is going to be going home. And this is where she says, Yoshi, you gotta go, you know, pack your stuff, da-da-da-da-da. And I mean, we already covered that part already, but you know, Yoshi, you just needed to go. But what I found was so funny. Why was security carrying her on their back? Did you see that?
No.
When they were carrying her out, like escorting her out, they picked her up and carried Yoshi on their back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
on the shoulders, on his shoulders. Security carried her on his shoulders. That's crazy that you didn't peep that.
Yeah, I definitely missed that. But I did
damn,
peep.
what the fuck?
I did peep that when Ivory got her baddies chain that there wasn't like another meatball in the area. You know what I'm saying? Like really hating and shit. Everybody clapped. Everybody was like, DTV was being funny. I don't think she was being serious.
Yeah. But it's just funny. Maybe they learned from Meatball. Maybe
Yeah.
it was like, we don't want to look like Meatball this season.
Yeah, we don't want to look like a hater.
We don't want to look like Meatball this season. We gonna clap.
We gonna come right. Cameras is around, clap.
Right. We don't want to look crazy. But then the girls head out to Cleveland.
Yeah, they get on the bus.
Okay. And they're chatting about the whole situation with Summer. And Summer, who was it? Because Big Lex was explaining the situation about Summer and someone else.
And Jasmine, right?
It was Jasmine, right? Yes, it was Jasmine because Jasmine snuck her for no reason on the bus. And then Jasmine had apparently rapped about her baby daddy. Summer's baby. Yes, that's why she had ran up on her when they were outside. She was like, you talked about my baby daddy, ho. Like, don't talk about my baby daddy or whatever. This is some ghetto shit, y'all. Definitely messy. So Summer attacked Jazz, and Jazz, basically this is what Lex was trying to explain on the bus, but in the midst of Big Lex explaining the situation, fucking Anna Mac decides to be petty, and she was like, kind of how you inserted yourself in Jayla's situation from last season. And I was like, ooh. And then Big Lex was like, yeah, exactly that. Yeah. I was like, yo, I'm surprised Big Lex didn't like go off on her in that moment.
She handled it well.
She did. Because I feel like if it was me, I would have been like, okay, so since we're clocking it,
right,
I would have been petty. I would have been like, let's really clock it since you want to talk about last season. Let's talk about it, Anna. Let's talk about it. And I would bring up all of it. I would bring up everything. I would bring up how she don't stand on no fucking business, but they picking on Biggie. I would bring up every fucking thing. You already know how I feel about it. I'm just so over it because I said what I said about Anna. I don't need to repeat it, but I just don't understand how everyone's ignoring her. Bad Dolly literally pushed her. She did nothing. Where's the scrutiny for Anna Mac there?
But Anna Mac gets in the paint.
It doesn't matter. In that moment, you didn't get in the paint with Bad Dolly.
She gets down way more than Biggie. So I really don't think
you can compare. She does. But okay, so for this season, with the way that they're going in on Biggie, you would think that they would, I guess, keep that same energy because Anna, no, because this is this season and Anna got pushed and didn't do anything about it.
But it was planned. It was scripted, that part. Which, okay. You know what I'm saying? Tasiki had came out and said or something like that.
And guys, we know you guys kept commenting Tink threw the water at Bad Dolly's face. That's why she turned her back. Thank you. We know now.
Speaking about Tink, Pretty P does end up being annoying again on the bus and starts getting in Tink's face again. And I'm not going to lie, Tink has a lot of patience. Yeah. And I don't get it. I don't get Pretty P, bro. I really don't. This fucking bus, it looks like jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're squished. They're fucking tiny ass space right here. And there's a bunch of bitches.
But she was arguing with Summer, Pretty P, on that bus, on that tight ass bus.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
She was arguing with a few people.
That's true. She started with Tink.
Yeah.
And then Summer jumped in. Then they were going back and forth. Then this was the funniest scene to me, y'all. Like, it was just so funny. Because Pretty P was throwing low blows, Summer was throwing low blows, and Pretty P, y'all already been saying she looked like an old lady. So it's just so funny, like, just to see. So they're going back and forth, and they actually eventually get into a fight on that tiny ass Marine Corps looking ass bus. It looked like a ship, like, you know, the little Marine ships that they would stay on, and it was a little tiny little bunker. That's what it looked like. I was like, y'all really fucking fighting right now. Fighting, and then Summer takes Pretty P's wig and puts it on. I lost it. I started laughing.
Summer also threw the fucking shoe at Pretty P's head.
Yeah.
Pretty P starts crying.
She does. I'm sorry. When she started crying, I was cracking the fuck up. Ain't no way you cry. You know, I get it. The show is stressful. You know, it's fucked up. They bring the worst out of you. I'm sorry. I would have been in the back cracking the fuck up. Because, bitch, why the fuck are you crying? Like,
I'm not going to lie. I would cry when I'm that angry. And then I just got snuck in the head. And then there's so much commotion. You don't get your fair one. I'm fucking mad, bitch. I'm crying.
Bro, I started cracking the fuck up. I was like, yo, she looked crazy crying.
And
yo.
Natalie pretending to care.
Bro, she pissed me off because when Biggie was crying, she talked about baddie, shot o'clock.
I mean,
Pretty
you could
P
see it in her
crying,
face
and
too,
all of a
though.
sudden, she's like, oh, yeah. Like, at least act like you care with Biggie, bitch. You acting like you care with Pretty P for what?
Nah, she didn't look like she cared. She looked like she was saying the right things, but literally
But
her
at
eyes,
least she tried.
her eyes were literally so
At
uninvolved.
least
She was
she
just like,
tried. At least she tried. Because Biggie, she don't give a fuck.
bro, you're such a fucking Team Biggie fan.
And what about it?
I
I am. Listen, I'm a real one. All you
I
fake
like
ones,
Biggie
you're
too,
fake
but
one.
it's like so like
What? What is it like?
you bringing up Pretty P and comparing her to Biggie. We already know that Natalie don't fuck with Biggie. Period. That's been a thing. Period. She don't. She deals with her. That's her coworker. She respects her now as a coworker.
Did anybody peep when Pretty P and Summer was fighting? Natalie was in the back like this.
Yeah.
That shit cracked me the fuck up. I was like, this lady is really like somebody's auntie, like just the producer, director, like she was giving momager. Like, you know that scene from Mean Girls?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the scene.
Yeah. When the mom is in the
mom is-
audience and she's just with the phone, like, it was given that. I was like, this is crazy. She did the same thing when Sapphire and Suki, Sapphire fought Smiley for the chain, for Mariah's chain. She was literally recording the shit. And then she was recording Mariah talking about, I got my chain back. It gave the same vibes. I was cracking the fuck up. I was like, I cannot with this shit. Like, but Natalie fake pretending to care. You already know how that goes. So the girls get to the house and, they are touring the house and they realize that they got these bitches in bunk beds and they're like, what the fuck is going on? And honestly, I'm not surprised. It's always something with the house.
I was going to say, like,
It's always something.
I feel like it's fake caring because at this point, you've seen so many Baddies episodes. Clearly, they've seen the seasons, the girls. So it's like, you know what's coming.
Right.
You know that the bus is going to break down and you know that the beds are going to either you're sleeping on a couch or you're sleeping on a bunk. Like,
Yo, and that actually goes into the next scene where the bus does break down. I think this is where they're on their way to the bowling alley.
it doesn't
right?
break down, but it gets stuck in the mud.
It gets stuck in the mud, but something is always happening with the bus. And tell me why fucking Summer said the bus is breaking down because of you and points at Jazz. And I'm like, yo, this girl would not leave Jazz alone. Summer talk about you and your rainbow jacket. I was like, oh my God. I was cracking the fuck up because I was just like, yo.
Literally no one, and then Summer.
Literally, like Summer just be picking at Jazz, yo.
For
be
no reason.
Trolling for no reason.
Because like Jazz is not even
minding
fat,
her
like-
business. Jazz was really minding her business. And she said, you and your rainbow jacket. Like, what are we talking about? So then stuff start falling on the bus, and that's where the episode ends. And then we go into the next episode, y'all. Stay with me, people. Hopefully y'all are still here for the ride.
Once they get off the bus, they finally get to the bowling alley. They're turning up for Jaden's birthday, and Natalie gives her a Baddies chain.
That's right.
So-
They felt bad because she got her ass beat. So they decided, and it was on her birthday. And they decided to give her a Baddies chain.
she did get her ass beat
on
by
her
Biggie.
birthday.
Yeah.
So they were
which
like,
is
I felt bad.
crazy.
You're
Which
a
is-
celebrity guest. Let's give you a baddie chain.
Which is crazy because you got beat up by Biggie. Biggie can't fight. I'm surprised that Jaden got beat up by Biggie, period. You know what I'm
I
saying?
saw a post on Twitter and was like, this is a girl who beat up Krishan allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay. I was cracking the fuck up. I was like, no, for real. Because if you're getting beat up by Biggie, girl, and then you're talking about, you're much bigger than me.
Right.
And now I know Blueface was protecting you because you his baby mama. Now I know.
Yeah, so she got a Baddies chain for fighting Biggie, right? And that was that. So that's where the episode ends. And then we pick up on episode 8, where Jaden, Natalie, and Akbar are outside. Oh, because after the bowling alley, they went back and they went out again. Which I really don't know how these girls be. So they had a good night.
They went to the next
Yeah,
spot.
yeah, exactly.
Natalie changed her wig and everything.
Yes, which is crazy because I'm like, yo, these girls, Have you? Okay, I'm not gonna say have you because duh, you have. But I've been in a room where these bitches be putting on their wigs and getting them applied and shit. And that's not like fucking quick. You know what I'm saying? It's not like switching your underwear. That shit is like a whole thing. So the fact that Natalie had a whole different outfit and wig and still going outside, I don't know how these girls do it. They gotta be on something, some type of assistance.
They're on drugs for sure. I mean,
But-
how do you keep going? Like, I don't know.
You know, that little snow bunny stuff. But episode 8, they're recapping what a good night it was. Nat, Akbar, and Jaden. And they're talking about brunch and shit.
And, you know, Natalie is asking Akbar about the whole Biggie situation. And then this is when Akbar says that she feels that Biggie is jealous of her. And
how the girls embrace her.
Yeah, like jealous.
What a word to use.
What a fucking word jealous? Jealous of what? What exactly does Biggie need to be jealous of? Are you projecting? Are you jealous of Biggie? Like, I don't fucking know.
Intimidated? Are you intimidated by Biggie?
I don't think she's intimidated by Biggie.
Is she? If she wasn't,
I think she's intimidated by DTB. And that's why she was quick to fight her. But she wasn't quick to fight Biggie because she sees Biggie as a kid and she's not intimidated by her or threatened by her. So she's so quick to just throw this. I hate when bitches throw the word jealous around for no fucking reason. If you're going to call someone jealous, have someone to back it up. Was I hating on you? What? Like, what?
I don't understand the word jealous because it's like,
what do you have that Biggie wants?
And how can somebody be jealous if they're grieving?
They don't even know who you are.
They're not even thinking like that. This is what I really hate this shit because like grieving is a real fucking deep feeling. And I feel like people just think that when you're grieving, everything about you is normal when it's not, which is why, again, people coming at Biggie when you've lost somebody, like you can't expect them to be the same person. Their mind is not there. Right. It's just not there. It's not. So to say that Biggie is jealous of Akbar was fucking weird.
Oh, God. I don't even know why she said that shit.
And this goes back to the same thing, how she swears that she's better than all these girls. Because you're telling me that you think another bitch is jealous of you, which means that you think that you have something that they want.
Right. And bitch, you're washed up. What do they want? They don't want shit from you. You're washed up. You are fiending to be on Zeus to get that check. You're washed up.
And what is it with this idea that Akbar is a fucking rapper?
Bro, we don't even know her fucking music.
I've never heard her
and
shit.
DTB was so right. We know you from reality TV, bitch. We don't know you. We know you from being in internet beef. From being in reality TV beef. We don't know you from your fucking music. We really don't.
I didn't even know her, period.
Yeah.
Period. I was like, who is this annoying ass lady?
You an old head, bitch.
Old head, bro.
Talking shit.
Natalie and Jayla need to go sit down somewhere, bro. Y'all are giving...
You and your speeches gotta go. Period. Heavy on that. So then after that little scene, you know, Jaden is talking about... What was Jaden talking about? I don't even care. Was she talking about anything?
Nah, she just said that she's done with Biggie.
Oh, that's right. She did say she's done with Biggie and that's it. It's done. Then after that, we go into the next scene where Tink and Rolly, they're talking about Biggie.
Again. Every fucking episode.
Right.
It's funny how Biggie is really the main topic of this season. Of like a big topic.
Every season, though, it's always like this.
Yeah, it's
you
crazy.
realize that?
Yeah. So yeah, as they're recapping and talking about Biggie, sure enough, Biggie and DTB walk in. And why does DTB look absolutely crazy?
Yo, DTV's hair looks fucking wild. She's talking about she hung over.
She looked like she did the walk of shame.
She did.
Her hair all up crazy, but I love it because she didn't give a fuck.
She did it. And I love that because I'm just like, let's see the real. Y'all always talking about showing us the real and the real. Like, I don't need to see y'all with makeup 24/7.
For sure.
Y'all in the house together. Y'all sleeping there. Let me see how you look when you wake up, bitch. Let me see how you look when you wake up. So, you know, of course, they're talking about the same situation. Biggie never standing up for herself. And then now the girls are saying that they feel like Jaden got the chain because of Biggie.
Yeah.
Which was like, whoa, like, you really think so? Like, that was news to me. But then it kind of made sense because she's a celebrity guest. And then, it was her birthday and you embarrassed her on her birthday. So why not give her the chain,
Yeah.
Why not?
But also, I thought was interesting was Rolly confronting DTB and Tink about the sneaking with Pretty P.
That's right.
Which I thought was like...
right. And they were like, yeah, y'all don't need to be going back on her and all that stuff. Like, it's just too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Tink wasn't here for it. She was like, nah, that bitch started with me, so I don't give a fuck. Like, you started with me. I feel like
she's right.
Yeah. The only person Rolly needs to be talked to is DTB.
Is DTB.
DTB was the one sneaking.
Exactly.
Pretty P started with technically Pretty P was going after Diamond. And Tink stepped in for Diamond. But then it got out of hand when Diamond just kept sneaking. Yeah. So I feel like still the issue is still with Diamond. They go into talking about other stuff because Natalie then decides to send Rolly a text message.
Yep.
And she says, she only wants some of the girls to be brought to brunch. She says that she wants Tinkerbella, DTB, Big Lex, and Jazz, but no Biggie.
And she made sure it said no Biggie.
She literally said verbatim and no Biggie, please. So I just think it's so funny. Natalie knows what she's doing.
Yeah,
we say this time and time again.
It was on purpose.
Exactly. It was on purpose for TV. And it was, of course, to elicit a reaction.
For sure.
Because, it's for TV. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't she want the reaction?
Which at first, when I saw Biggie's reaction, I was like, wow.
Like, she really don't care.
She's like lit. She's grown because I know she's always getting upset that, Natalie leaves her out or doesn't treat her the same. Then comes to find out that she actually texted her and it actually bothered her, which I was disappointed in.
I was too. It was like, you couldn't act like it didn't hurt you.
Right.
Just act like you're bigger and better.
Because she was like, oh yeah, they probably gonna come back with no wigs. They're gonna fight. And which is true.
Right.
Right. But it's like, so if you knew that, why did you text her? So yeah, then we get into the scene where
Ivory and Jazz. Mm-hmm. Who are they with?
And Pretty P.
Pretty P, yes.
They were all
hanging out.
recapping.
They're recapping everything. And then that's when Rolly comes out. She grabs Jazz and was like, we're going to go to brunch. Natalie wants to. Ivory feels butthurt. Like, what about me? Like, you taking Jazz. Like, I feel left out. I get not inviting nobody else but me? What? Why not me? Which, again, back to what I was saying, like, the stuff that they're not showing and the stuff that I've seen on social media with her being up Natalie's ass, it makes a lot of sense why she even felt that way. Like, why not me? I thought we were cool. You gave me the Baddies chain. Why not me? So clearly she feels some type of attachment and feels that her spot is safe or something just because of that. But I have no idea.
Yeah, so then we go on to the Bad Dolly, Summer, and Big Lex.
Correct.
They're chilling and recapping as well.
Mm-hmm. And this is when, of course, Rolly comes and she takes Big Lex because she, and Natalie wanted her to go to the brunch. And then out of nowhere, Emma walks in. And then all of a sudden, Emma and Summer start having a disagreement, and then they start going back and forth. Summer says that Emma's not a baddie. She's boring and all this stuff. And, Emma's just going back and forth with her like, I already beat your ass. I'm not trying to do this, da-da-da-da. They're just going back and forth constantly.
Yeah.
Bad Dolly in the midst of this is saying, nah, that's not happening. You're not doing nothing to them. You're not doing nothing to them the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time. Then Ivory comes out, instigating with her red little cup. Talk about, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, if we're going to fight, we're going to fight. She really did instigate that situation.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Every time Ivory comes into a scene, it's like, oh my God, here we go. She's going to fucking say something. And then the weak bitches that allow her to get to them, they're going to fucking go.
Yeah.
Saw it on the bus. You see it all the time. It's annoying. And then Emma, Emma always has an excuse because every time, like, it's funny because I feel like Summer don't even care. She's just calling bitches out.
She don't.
And Emma, you can see, gets flustered by it. Like, and she's making all these excuses like, oh, it's only been a week. It's only been a week. Because also Summer said that you talk about Scotty. She's like, she's been here for a while. I've been here for a week. I'm sick. I'm this. My hand.
Finger's fractured.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like everything that comes out of Emma's mouth is a fucking excuse. And it's like annoying because when it's a real reason, no one's gonna believe you because every time you use a bunch of fucking excuses to justify how you're boring and you don't have anything other than the fact that you want to quote unquote take Scotty's spot.
I mean, that's valid and that's factual. So then at this point, you see Ivory doing what she does best, instigating the fight, because she's like, what is all this back and forth for? You might as well. So then Emma decides that she's big and bad, and she goes to try to fight Summer. Bad Dolly intercepts immediately, and they start fighting. And then
Summer tries to jump in on that.
Yes.
And then Ivory stops
Literally drags her from the hair over. I was like, no, we not doing that jumping shit.
Wig off.
We not doing that. She literally just so calm. Like, didn't fight her, nothing. She just said, and I was just like,
she said, we not doing that.
That shit was so crazy. I was like, I cannot.
But then, while that's happening, fucking Emma comes out of nowhere, runs up and tries to fight.
Yeah, she's fighting Summer anyway. And then, security tries to break that whole thing up, and it was a whole situation. Then Emma's like getting upset about how her hand is still fucked up. She's not trying to be fighting all day and my hand's fucked up. I need the splinter or whatever. The splint. Thank you. How she needs that. And she's just, they give it to her. But then she's just like, I'm not trying to be doing this shit all the time. And then Ivory's like, it's done. Yo, Ivory seemed bored, yo.
She's bored.
She was fucking bored in that damn house.
She was. She looked like she wanted something.
She needed something. We're talking about let's get a drink. Like, she needed something because she wasn't at the brunch. She was bored in the house. Natalie didn't take her. She needed some shit. Yeah. She needed to start some shit.
Yeah, she did.
Shorty was bored out of her fucking mind.
What I find really interesting about Emma is that, she's so quick to say, oh, you bully me offline, off camera, because she said that, she's Summer. Because Summer called her sensitive, that baddies aren't sensitive. But again, this goes back to the hypocrisy of Emma, right? Like, you literally came in and tried to pick on Scotty. You tried to pick on Scotty. You called her names, but then when it's happening to you, all of a sudden they're bullying me?
Yeah, and this is why Summer says what she says about Emma, because it's true. Why are you suddenly getting upset and sensitive that someone else is talking shit about you? Pop your shit back. The same way you came in popping your shit about Scotty. Where is that same energy?
Exactly.
So you talking about people doing shit for cameras, but you're doing shit for cameras. You picked a fight with Scotty for a storyline, mama.
Yeah, and you're not even living up to it.
You're not. That's what it is.
Yeah, and that's why you have the attention you have,
that's
right?
Because
you could have came in and been Emma. Like,
right.
Yo, what did Bad Dolly say? She had a grandma name?
Yeah, she did. That shit was so funny.
Like, you could have been Emma, but instead you came in and said, I want to replace Scotty. Yeah. And then called her boring, yet we don't know anything about you other than the fact that you want to replace Scotty, and then you were eating in the back of the bus, and then you're sick, and that it's only been a week. That's literally it. That's all I know from Emma. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, Summer calling her out is hilarious.
Yo, that shit is so funny because that's really what it is.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, fucking Bad Dolly starts throwing drinks at Emma.
Yeah.
Mid-argument, they start throwing shit. And then Emma tries to fight, and then they break that shit up. And then Bad Dolly's like, yeah, I want you to. But yeah, that wasn't going anywhere. So now we get to the part where Rolly takes the girls to brunch, okay? Like I said, she only took Tinka, Big Lex, Jazz, and DTB. So they are on their way, and Rolly is just talking about how she just does not want to see Slim in this encounter because Natalie always got something up her sleeve. DTB talking about we gonna see Meatball.
Yo,
Tink got so bad.
So tight.
Tink was like,
she said, don't talk about a bitch that's not here. DTB go, okay. Mad serious. Okay.
Yo, that shit was so funny because I would have said the same shit. Okay. Because DTB was being annoying when she said that.
Hell yeah.
Like, she wasn't even trying to do nothing. she was just being annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, what if we see Meatball? I'm like, what? Tink got so mad. That was the funniest shit ever. And Devin was just like, okay.
Yo, that shit was mad funny.
So then they get there, and of course, ain't no damn food on the table, y'all. And that's just one thing to notice, which is what everybody clocked. Rolly, Scotty, Biggie, they all said the same thing. Y'all not gonna eat. Y'all never gonna eat. It's gonna be some surprise. You're gonna fight. You're gonna come back, wigs off, whatever. So they go, no food is on the table, but then Scotty, Jayla, and Anna and Tasiki, they meet up with them. They come in a little later. And out of nowhere, Akbar decides to check DTB.
Yeah.
Okay. And she claims that DTB put a battery in Biggie's back. And this part was so funny. DTB was like, I didn't put the battery in her back. The battery was already there. I was simply charging it.
Yo.
I cracked the fuck up.
Cracking the fuck up.
I died when she said that.
That was so funny.
That was hilarious.
And she's right.
She absolutely. At that moment, Biggie was fed up with Akbar.
Yeah.
And DTB was just like, hey, fuck it.
And then DTB ends up explaining why she doesn't like Akbar, which I think is 100% a valid reason. She said that she had complimented her performance the night before or a couple nights ago, and that Akbar said, yeah, I know. I know I'm a professional.
Right.
Which DTB was like, you could have just said thank you.
Right.
And I know that feeling because that literally recently happened to me. Literally complimenting somebody that, you know, hey, you look good. And then they're like, yeah, I've been this way. Like, what? A simple thank you would have been all right. So I get it. I get it. Like, that would fucking piss me off too. Like, actually, you don't even look that good. Actually, your performance is shit. Like, I was just being a sister and being nice. But you know what? Right?
Right. Exactly.
It's so weird. And that goes back to that entitled energy. Like, not this entitled energy. That goes back to
condescending, thinking that you're better than. Yes, like, you know, thinking that you're bigger than what you really are. Even calling Biggie jealous to think she wants something from you because you're so big. What?
Yeah, girl.
What does Biggie want from you?
Yeah.
So DTB and Akbar get into this pretty heated argument after, you know, DTB explained to herself on that situation, which I totally agree with. And it was just the funniest shit ever because DTB said that duffel bag under your arm. I lost it.
And then Akbar says something like, oh,
your ass don't even jiggle.
Yeah, and then that's when
DTB started clapping them cheeks.
Bro, that shit was loud.
It was.
I was like, okay, she proved the point. That shit not hard. That shit jiggle.
That shit was loud, yo.
Bro.
It really said a loud audience ass clap. It said,
yeah. I just got what you said. No, for real though. I was like, you can't say nothing. I was actually impressed that DTB was not afraid to turn her back and clap her ass. Like,
she didn't give a fuck.
She did not care.
She didn't give a fuck. Then out of nowhere, Akbar talked shit about DTB's tooth, which she kept coming for her constantly about that.
Snaggle tooth and all that.
Missing a tooth. You got your tooth knocked out, all this stuff. And then the last straw, DTB just like attacked her.
Yeah, jumped over the table and got her.
And tried to like sneak her. And that was it.
I think both rounds that they went on was pretty fair. I think that Akbar got the first round, and then the second round, it was pretty even.
Yeah. And then what is annoying is that Akbar had spit on DTB.
Oh, yeah, that's
and that's when, you know, it was just like, you know, that second round, DTB just like did her thing because it's like, why are you spitting on somebody?
Yeah, that's like, what's her name? Did it to Sapphire?
Bianca.
Yeah, it's a Bianca move right there.
Definitely a Bianca
dirty
move.
Bitch.
Dirty. But it's just like, why are you even doing that?
And it's crazy. Going back to the same thing.
I can't wait for Tommy to show up.
Miss, I'm an adult and you're the kid, but you're the one spitting.
Right.
And I didn't like that you were that Akbar was so quick to have all this energy with DTB. Where was that energy when Biggie was attacking you?
I'm telling you, because she sees DTB as a threat. That's what I personally think. You see her as a threat. You see that, and you want to defend yourself and go hard because this is not Biggie who you see as a little girl anymore. This is someone that's like, you know, a threat to you, and you don't know what to expect.
I can see that.
And she fought Tasiki, so obviously she's gonna lose to Tasiki, but who knows, you know? So she's just gonna be on her A game because she just doesn't know what to expect from this girl.
I'm tired of Akbar.
I'm tired of her too. I don't even know why she's here. Y'all need to get better at picking these celebrity guests. I think Audrey was a great pick. Claremont twins were cool too, you know, but fucking Jaden is cool, I guess. But
I like Jaden.
Yeah, I like Jaden. But Akbar is not doing what the celebrity guest should be doing. Like, she's just not understanding the assignment.
Well, I mean, I'm curious to know, do y'all think she's doing the assignment? Because, I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah. So then after that, you know, Emma is talking to Pretty P.
Mm-hmm.
They go to that scene where Emma is talking to Pretty P about her altercation with Bad Dolly and Summer, talking about how these girls tried to jump me and all this stuff. Pretty P in her confessional seem to not give a fuck, because at the end of the day, it's every man for himself. Exactly. You know, I went through my shit. Now I could listen, but you know, I'm not doing shit because was y'all doing shit when I was in my shit? No.
Exactly.
So, and I feel that because that's what it is when you're on these shows.
Mm-hmm.
So then Biggie comes in to talk to the girls.
Yeah.
And she explains how, you know, she wasn't invited. Ivory comes in there with her red Yo, this bitch was bored.
I thought that whole interaction was awkward because these girls don't actually like talk in real life. Like Ivory, Biggie being in that room, you could tell it was fake. You could tell she didn't want, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Biggie it just felt awkward. Like she was told by the production to go in there and talk.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because she doesn't really try to like get any type of relationship with the new girls.
Mm-hmm.
She just sticks with her clique,
mm-hmm.
and that's it.
Which is interesting because she was always so big on Natalie,
mm-hmm.
doing the same thing to her, but yet she's doing it with everybody that was in House B.
Yeah.
Like I said, this goes back to the same thing, you know. It's easy to criticize someone when you want to be a part of it or if you're in the outside looking in, but then when you're there, you do the same thing and it's like, oh, look at you, but you were so mad when it was done to you. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, look, you're doing the same thing. Right. Literally does not get to know the girls at all.
Mm-hmm. Right, 100%.
Then they go to the scene where Summer and Bad Dolly are in the jacuzzi. They talking they shit. You see that Bad Dolly got her little arm wrapped up. She said that she not fighting no more. Summer's gonna have to hold her own because she can't do it no more. Summer said she got her.
Yeah.
But it was funny because at some point Summer mentioned how Emma needs to go home, Biggie needs to go home, and Jazz needs to go home.
Yes.
Which I was like, oh shit. She said something, it cracked me up. She said Biggie ain't get invited to the brunch and she not invited to the jacuzzi either, bitch.
She said you're not invited to the hot tub either, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, she was really talking mad shit about Biggie.
Mad shit.
That shit had me weak, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm a Biggie fan, but that was so funny. She was like, Biggie need to go home.
I think it's cool though, because it's like, it's literally the same way Big Lex is not afraid of Jayla is the same way Summer's not afraid to, I guess, say that about Biggie.
Yeah, she's not afraid to say shit about anybody.
Yeah.
Clearly. It's like she really don't care. And I think it was so funny was when they cut back to, you know, the van of the other girls going home from brunch. DTB is basically amped up and complaining about Akbar. And she's just like, we don't know you from rapping, bitch. We don't know you from your music. Like, we know you from reality TV. Like, and she's just going off about that. She's like, you talking about me with reality TV, but that's all we know you from. Like, we don't know you from music.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know you as some rapper. She starts saying, I know Lotto from being a rapper. I know Glorilla from being a rapper. I know Megan Thee Stallion from being a rapper. We don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
So that was funny. She was really crashing out and going off on that.
She was crashing out for sure.
She was. And then in the other van, it was Tasiki and Anna and Jayla talking about the situation. And then Tasiki was saying how she felt bad. And she was like, how, she feels like that first round DTB lost, but the second round, you know, was pretty fair and even. And, you know, they were just recapping it in the car. So then eventually the girls do come back to the house.
Mm-hmm. And there's a house meeting.
Of course. So then Akbar in her thug ass fucking hoodie. Yo. I saw her walk in with her hoodie on and everything. I was like, okay. And then DTB with her bonnet and all of that. Because you know these bitches don't know what to expect. We just fought. I don't know what to expect. This is Baddies. Natalie in these house meetings. Everyone knows what it is. Everybody's on go. Mm-hmm. So in the midst of that, Summer calls out Emma for being boring.
Mm-hmm. And Scotty.
That was so funny. I was like, clock it, Scotty, clock it.
And I gotta give it to her. And then the people that clocked us in the prior episode, because this goes back to what they were saying Scotty said that she wasn't gonna say nothing no more, right? That basically she was not, because then it's called bullying, bullying the girl. So she hasn't said anything, but it was nice to hear Summer confront her,
right?
Which is more on Emma's level,
right?
And I was like, you know what, you guys are right. It's
better for Summer to confront her than Scotty, in all honesty.
I agree, but what I'm saying is, you see that Scotty's intentions are literally, I'm not fucking with this, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not messing with this little girl, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I said, I take back what I said about Scotty as far as, like, you know, giving her too much attention, caring too much. I don't think she does. I think she's very well aware, and that you guys are right. Like, she was just, you know, doing what the baddies do, right?
Yeah. And in the midst of that, you know, Biggie was like, so I want to know what happened today, you know, at a brunch where I was excluded from. And she says that, and we didn't even get to know what happened, because out of nowhere, you know, I guess that was when Summer and Emma went back and forth. And then out of nowhere, Natalie's like, well, we have a special guest coming to join us. And she calls out Slim.
I don't get it. Why is Slim so eager to be on the show?
I really don't get it.
I mean, she looks like, and this is where they show the next episode, because Rolly gets up. She did literally no talking. She's going to fight Slim. And then I guess the preview of the next episode, you see literally Slim getting beat the fuck up.
Yeah, you really do. Unfortunately.
You like Slim?
I don't like Slim, but I don't like Rolly. So unfortunately,
yeah, I guess
Slim's Slim. She is annoying. She's annoying, and she should have had something ready, because you know Rolly bigger than you. Why didn't you come prepared? You just came with your hands, and that was it.
I just don't get why you're still coming on the show. I would have
went to jail. I'm sorry.
No, you wouldn't. Okay. I just don't understand
Something
why
would have happened.
Slim keeps coming back.
Something would have happened. I'm not coming empty-handed to fight Rolly. Like, that's fucking crazy.
I feel like she's worse than what's that fucking Star? That her last name Star?
Sydney Star?
I think Slim is worse than Sydney Star at that point. Yeah, like, she's worse. Like, why are you still here? You were in the auditions. You were ill, wild and out. What is that? Wild and bad.
Body's going wild or some shit like that?
No, the wild and out one with Nick Cannon.
Wild versus bad. There you go.
Bad versus wild.
There you go.
You were at the auditions. You were at Bad versus Wild. You were at the previous, like, they don't fucking like you, and you're the joke every single time. I'm sure you don't get paid as much, but you still want to be on this damn thing. You're on every auditions, bro.
She doesn't have any shame. She wants to get a bag, and I'm sure she got a bag just to show up, and she don't care. Now she can eat.
Not the bag that most baddies get.
Now she can eat.
She need to eat, bro.
She look hungry.
She do look hungry.
So yeah, for the next, episode, we do see her getting dragged. We do see a couple of more altercations between the girls. And what else do we see? I don't really think we see much.
I didn't write it down.
I didn't write it down either. I don't give a fuck.
But we will be there to take notes and watch next Sunday. Okay.
100%. So yeah, I mean, if you guys enjoyed this episode, definitely comment your thoughts below. If there's anything we missed, comment that too, because y'all stay clocking it, okay?
Yeah.
Y'all stay clocking the shit that we missed or we didn't see or we forgot to say.
Yes.
So yeah, do what you usually do and comment on what we missed and all that jazz.
We love to hear your comments. We love to see where y'all are from.
Yes, where are y'all from?
Shout out to Aaliyah from Cleveland, Ohio.
Period.
You're dope. Appreciate the comments, guys. You guys are awesome. A lot of people from Ohio, surprisingly.
I mean, technically two that we know of.
No, there was a few people.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay. Yeah. So shout out to Ohio.
Shout out to
fucking two. Yeah, so let us know where y'all from. We love y'all. We love reading y'all perspectives. We're never here to argue. I'm always here to listen to all types of perspectives.
We're always here to listen and see different perspectives. But, sometimes I'm going to stand 10 toes on mine. Sometimes, not all the time.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Great, I'm glad. I'm going to stand 10 toes on mine. Thank you for announcing that.
Sometimes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram. That's JESSI.strange. And where can they find you, Tiana?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Randomania1. You guys can find us on Instagram at The Petty Headquarters. Okay, we release episodes every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Listen, y'all, it's hard out here. Every Tuesday at 4 p.m.
Every Tuesday.
All right. We are on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast on, we are there. We are also on YouTube, The Petty Headquarters. It is very simple. All right. And I mean, with that being said,
this was your weekly dose of mess.